Hey guys, Makeup Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I know a lot of you guys have been pretty active with me this weekend. We've had some crazy sales and stuff going on, so thank you for bearing with me. All right, so today, mattifying powder, okay? Mattifying powder is something I actually used a lot when I first started, and now I don't use it at all. It's just kind of got out of the habit, but I have some people that are really dead set fans. So mattifying powder. I will say when I have new people to Beautycounter, they might get disappointed. Oh, you guys don't have any color powder. Mattifying powder is going to do way more favors than colored powder. Colored powder actually amplifies like fine lines and wrinkles, and it leaves like obvious, like, hi, I have makeup on my face. So translucent powder is really where it's at. I want to read you something from a popular blog that says, translucent powder is the best way to set your makeup. If you want the most flawless, poreless, I'm naturally gorgeous and don't need any makeup look, because I kind of need makeup, to be honest, you want to be using a translucent powder to set your makeup, as in one with no color whatsoever, okay? So, not from my mouth, okay? From some beauty blogger. I don't pretend to be a beauty blogger. I mean, look at me. Look at my hair. You can see my bobby pin. I'm a mess, all right? Not a beauty blogger. Just passing along the information. So, blah, blah, blah. Recently did a story on how to get flawless skin. Picked up these tips from a Makeup from Forever artist. So not our beloved Christy Coleman, who we love her. And she really believes in translucent powder as well. Otherwise, we would sell powder makeup. Okay. So I don't know about you, but I'd rather people get noticed for my eyes or my smile than a layer of cakey powder on my face, which only gets worse throughout the day if you're layering powder on top of another powder again. So see how I've got these fine lines and wrinkles? If I'm putting powder on it, guess what? As I make that expression over and over again, the powder is not filling in those fine lines and wrinkles, okay? And the solution is going to be a translucent powder. Here's why. It's going to work for any skin age, any skin tone, and it gives a natural finish. It takes away shine, but it's not adding texture. Texture is what's adding the thickness and kind of amplifying crepiness around the eyes, fine lines and wrinkles around the eyes. Also, let's see. What else? It really has to do with the texture, I guess, is why you don't want that color. So even though you think that you have a color that matches your skin perfectly, translucent is the way to go. Because what you can do is you're going to be getting your coverage with foundation or concealer, okay? The purpose of the powder is purely to lock it in. So I have my foundation on, all right? And the way to use it is you're going to pour this. It's got like, let me see if I can get this so that it's okay. So you see it's got holes in here, and you turn it. I think you turn it. Yeah, you turn it to open it and close it. Now, I did make a mistake and realize my powder's almost all gone, but you tap it in there, and you'll see I have some in the top. And I'm taking my big powder brush, and I'm just lightly applying it, okay? You can apply it over your eyes, wherever. And this is going to help to set my makeup. I don't use the powder anymore. I used to use it a lot. I like the kind of dewy, sheen's not really the right word, but I like the way my tint skin looks without it being set. I'm not looking for the matte. If you like the matte, then you're going to want to try the mattifying powder. Duh, right? But here's other couple tricks you can use it for. So knock on wood, but let's say I've got a big blemish right here. Majority of my life I have one that I'm trying to cover up somewhere on the face, typically around the chin. Today I do not. Yay! Now that I've said it, something's gonna rep. But let's say I have a blemish, okay? So where a lot of times you'll hear me touting Beautycounter makeup is buildable. It's buildable, it's buildable. Because not everybody needs that thick, heavy look, right? But for those of us that do, which is me, half of the time, I have my foundation on, and I've just put my mattifying powder on. Guess what? To build it, if I put that mattifying powder on, the other thing I can do, rather than putting it all over my face and building it, I can kind of spot treat. So I'm going to put some more in here, and I'm going to go, again, I'm doing an imaginary blemish, okay? So I'm going to put that, because the other thing about these products, they're oil absorbing. So that's why it's getting mattifying, is it's kind of absorbing that oil. It has cornstarch in it, which cornstarch we all know very absorbent. Okay, so I'm going to put it over whatever my imaginary blemish is. I'm going to take my concealer pen and I'm going to dot, 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 pat, 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 okay? So that way the concealer pen has something kind of almost to adhere to, and then I can put my powder on again. All right, if I need more, I might do another little coat of my foundation, and then I'm gonna lock it in with this, okay? So that's a way to build it, to get more coverage, to take away the redness, to take away, hide whatever we're looking at. The other thing is you can use it as an eyeshadow primer, right? So if I don't want it all over my face, but I know I'm gonna be going out and I want a really pretty heavier eyeshadow look, then guess what? I'm gonna do again, spot treat, and I'm gonna put it over my eyes because that's gonna take away the wetness from my foundation, because I usually always put foundation and concealer on my eyes, and that's gonna set that. So now when I put on my eyeshadow, that's gonna be more, it's gonna give it added longevity. Here's one of my other favorite things, is for lips, okay? So remember, buildable, buildable, buildable. This is our friend if we wanna build the coverage, if we wanna build the color. So I'm gonna use Currant. Now remember, our lip sheers are color, but they're not intense color. We do have a whole separate line of color intense lip colors that's one swipe, boom. But for years, all we had was the color, was the lip sheers. So a lot of my lipstick selfies is I have it built up, okay? So it's not a single swipe. So this is Currant, which looks dark, right? A single swipe, it's not that dark, okay? It's got color, but not a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna hit my Currant on, okay? Which that color is fine. Okay, it's not like, oh, where is it? I don't see it. But let's say I'm going out and I love this color and I want it to be bold. So what I can do is you layer with blot. So you apply, blot just a little bit. You see a little color came on. Then we're gonna spot. Apply, blot, spot. Apply, blot, spot. Look what I just came up with. So clever. So you can do with a brush, or you can do with your finger like I did. So let's say I'm gonna blot it on there. Or this is the smaller brush, okay? So the one that I use, we'll do a whole special on brushes later, but this is the powder, this is the all over face brush, and this is the blush brush. So you can do that. So it's just a little bit more targeted. And tap on the lip. See, it almost looks like it took away color, but guess what? It's like kind of drying it out a little bit. And now I can put another coat on. And it's not only adding a deeper pigment, because now I just had 2 coats, but that also helps it last longer, okay? So you see that's a bolder look, right? And repeat until desired intensity of the color, okay? So blot, spot with the mattifying, and then apply until you have it the color that you want. I'm sitting right in front of my window and I'm a little bit, so you can see that was 2 coats and that gave me a pretty intense color. Now I don't have any blush or bronzer on. All I did was put on my foundation so that you guys could see. It's a really matte, it's a much matter look than I usually have, because I usually don't wear the mattifying powder. I usually don't wear the mattifying powder. So then I've got that all set, right? I've got my foundation set. So then I'm gonna go in with my blush and I'm gonna put my blush on and my bronzer, but we've done a whole different special on that. You guys don't need to see me apply it. This guy's being such a happy camera. He loves listening to me talk. He was crying and crying before, and I thought, well, we might just go on nursing like usual. But once I started talking, he got happy again. Oh, bubs. So that's the mattifying powder. I did want to read. Okay, so the mattifying powder is $38. And how Beautycounter describes it, invincible, but so indispensable. A lot of people, they do swear by this, okay? Oh, also, I have people that use this as their dry shampoo. I have not used it as that yet, but I think it would totally work because it's like, it's oil absorbing. The imperceptible finishing power sets makeup, absorbs shine, and reduces the appearance of pores and fine lines. It leaves skin smooth with a natural, even finish with no white residue. So that's the other thing, is a lot of times some powders out there are going to be made with a powder that's not translucent, that gives like a white finish, which this does not, as you can see. I'm just kind of pale right now because I just am. Becky asked, do you do mattifying after foundation, not after blush? You could, blush doesn't really add a sheen, right? So you don't really need to mattify blush. It's not like it's like dewy. And you could, but it's gonna tone down the color. It's gonna tone down the blush color a little bit. So I would prefer it after my foundation, because that's really what I want set, and then the blush goes on top of it just fine. I think it does make the blush last a little bit longer to do it before, because the blush is, well, actually it might not. I haven't really tested that, to be honest. That just my train of thought was that it's gonna make the blush last a little bit longer if you have the mattifying powder first, because that makeup's set and then you put the blush on top of it. I want my blush and my bronzer to be kind of bold, or to really bring out that color, because you see without any, I'm a little bit ghosty. So I want to have my bronzer and stuff on top of the mattifying powder, but I don't really wear the mattifying powder very often, because I really love the look of the tint skin. I like that dewy kind of wet finish. However, my skin's also in super good shape right now. You guys have all seen me at times when I'm a broken out mess. So in those days, heck yeah, I'm going to have the mattifying powder on, and then I'm going to have my bronzer and blush and stuff on top of it. And you can see where I put my pretend blemish. I just need to kind of blend it a little bit. But I didn't put the mattifying powder back on top of it. So yeah, so hopefully that helps. If you have any other questions, shoot them down in the comments and I will get back to you. I really do like it. I use it a lot. So you can see my eyes look super smooth, right? Because I had the foundation on and then I put the mattifying powder on top of this one. And it definitely, like, it's just nice and clean and set. Ooh, it does look really pretty, right? Look at myself. But if I were to go and put eyeshadow on, then that's going to make that eyeshadow last a little bit longer, because I do have people ask, do you have primers? We do not have a primer. Primers typically have kind of some bad stuff in it. This is going to be the closest thing to a primer that you get, as far as it like being setting and buildable in that case. All right, so happy Monday, guys. It's about time for me to try and get this guy to sleep. Although I might just stay sitting here talking to myself, because he likes to listen to me talk, I guess. All right, have a good one. Goodbye.